Hi, Sonora. Welcome to 11 Questions.
Hi, nice to be here, Daman.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm definitely a morning person, although these days I don't know. I keep watching television until late at night and then sort of hesitate to wake up in the morning. But I'll say morning person.
What's your most favorite place in the entire world?
Juhu Beach in Bombay. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I absolutely love it. It's got so many memories from my childhood. Even now, one of my favorite sensations is to stand on the beach and feel the sea sort of tugging away at my feet, to feel the sea, sort of pulling away from you when the sand sort of your feet get dug into the sand. And that's the first sensation I felt on Juhu Beach. I mean, the first time I felt it was on Juhu Beach. So it'll always have a special place in my heart. It's my favorite place.
And did you always want to be a writer?
I think I did, but I didn't know it because I started writing really early in my childhood. And then I remember that my sixth grade friend recently on Facebook reminded me that in sixth standard, what it was called in India, that I used to write stories and give them to my friends and my classmates. And I didn't know that I'd forgotten that I was doing that. So I think I always wanted to, but I only realized it much later in life.
And now, do you follow a writing routine?
No, there's no routine. I wish there were. I wish I were disciplined and would wake up every morning and write for a while. I'll tell you what works best for me is when I'm on a deadline or if I'm at a writing retreat. And I know that sounds very fancy, but really that's where I'm able to switch off from other work pressures and get my headspace all clear, and all I have to do is think about the story, and that's where I do my best writing. So, and if I don't have a retreat coming up, I make sure to take that time and go away somewhere and write. So that's best. Or if I have a deadline, then no matter where I am, I'll just sit down and be disciplined and write.
And what inspires your writing?
I'm driven by social justice issues, right? I'm driven by something in society that feels wrong or unjust. And then there's a story that sort of is around that issue. And I'm drawn to that. And I'm drawn to writing a very human, getting to the heart of that, feeling the heartbeat of that issue, but humanizing it in terms of people. Like, what does it mean for people? What does it mean for love among human beings? That's what inspires me, I think.
And do you ever face any kind of challenges to stay committed or stay creative in your writing process?
Well, I think the biggest challenge is time. All writers will say, oh, I don't have enough time to write. And that, I think that is true for me too. Just having a full-time job as a professor. And earlier it was, being a mom and a single mom, just like day-to-day stuff, and the extra work that women do in general. Now I have more time, as my son is grown and out of the house. So I have less of that challenge, but I think I make little hurdles for myself and little stumbling blocks for myself. But I think that's the challenge. Fortunately, I haven't had a dearth of ideas or anything. I hope I never have to face that challenge. I hope there are always stories that I want to tell.
And when you're not writing, what else do you like to do?
I like to read, I like to write, I like to hang out with friends, I like to walk my dog, I like to swim, I like to stare into space. More than anything else, I love when I am doing absolutely nothing and just kind of staring out the window, letting my thoughts wander. That kind of solitude, that kind of meditative space is something that I really, really love and cherish. And I miss it when I don't have it. When things get really hectic and I don't have the time to just stare into space, I can feel it very much in my body and in my mind.
If you could go on a coffee date with a fictional character, who would you pick?
I love the character of Zora in Zadie Smith's On Beauty. I think I have friends like that. I think I would like to meet that character because I feel like we would be friends.
And if I switch that to a real person, dead or alive, who would you take with you?
I would love to bring Rabindranath Tagore with me. I would have so many questions for him. I would love to just listen to him asking people questions. I would love to listen to him speak and sing or anything else. So, yeah.
And if you were to be deserted on an island with 3 books only, which 3 books would you pick?
Oh my God, that is such a good question. It's so hard to answer. Which 3 books would I pick? I think I would pick Vikram Seth's Golden Gate. I absolutely love that. And it's such a lovely book to read, even little snatches of his poetry. It's poetry in prose. It's a whole novel in poetry. Sorry. I think I would bring that one. I would bring a journal. A journal would be nice to write down, at least number my days and see, like, when someone finds my money there. I would like Gitanjali by Rabindranath Tagore. I would definitely bring that poetry. Looks like I'm leaning toward poetry. Well, maybe, this sounds very narcissistic, but I think I would like to bring my book, How to Raise a Feminist Son, just so I could reminisce, just so I could read it and kind of remember parts of the stories of my son.
For our last question, if you were to pick one interesting life experience or story to tell us today, what would you tell us?
The day I moved to Seattle. When I came here to Seattle, a place that I am so happy, even though my favorite place in the world is Juhu Beach in Bombay. This is second best, I guess, on a day-to-day basis. And I moved to Seattle with not knowing a single person in this city. The only person I knew was the department chair that hired me, and I only knew him from the interview that he'd had with me. And it was just me and my son as a single mother, not sure of what my life was going to turn out to be. And it turned out to be absolutely beautiful. And now I have more friends than I can actually manage, more friends that I can handle, which is a good problem to have. more friends than I have time for. And I think that has given me so much confidence, being able to build a whole new life and build an incredible life here. And I think that is the day I decided to do that, or the day I arrived here and realized, okay, this is it. This is going to be my home now. And then finding myself the happiest and most fulfilled and most self-actualized in Seattle, I think has been just incredible.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Sonora, for answering my questions.